One of the premier events here at Hickory Motor Speedway. A lot of great drivers in each and every division that we have here tonight, so it's going to be a lot of fun. We appreciate all of you coming out to Hickory Motor Speedway, celebrating the conclusion of the season with the running of the Fall Brawl.
What we've got on tap for them up here tonight. Some of them may still be funneling into the Speedway. We got the Renegades up first.
Yeah, Kel, we got the Rowdy Renegades going to start things off for us here tonight. Looks like Charlie Neal will lead them to green flag, followed by Gary Ledbetter on the outside of row one. We're going to work our way back to Kyle Devana, and Jarrett Anderson, Justin Austin. We got Steve Smart in that group. He's actually outside of the row one, I'm sorry. Starting fourth tonight will be Matthew Chambers. In sixth will be Ben Campbell. Then we've got Jared Anderson, Gary Willard, Justin Austin, and Jackson Sparks. Nice strong field lineup here for the Renegades. Got something a little different, I think, tonight, Cale. From what I understand, going to stop these Renegades part of the way through the race and maybe invert part of the field, go back to racing and see where it ends up. Going to be a pretty exciting deal here for the Fall Brawl. Looks like we're still getting lined up here and ready to go to racing action here at Hickory Motor Speedway. Birthplace of the NASCAR stars. Just moments away from getting underway here with the Rowdy Renegades. Looks like we've got 10 entries tonight. Once again, charging Charlie Neal's got the pole award for tonight. Going to lead us to green. Steve Smart going to be on his outside. There, row one. Smart electric car. Steve Smart is going to be looking to win him another race here at Hickory Motor Speedway. I believe if I heard Cousin Cale right, he told me that Steve was the Rookie of the Year in the street stock division during the regular season.
All right, Cousin Matt, we're getting things underway here. Check out that drone shot we've got in the pit area this time, man. That is really nice for you folks at home watching on FloRacing. As you can see, that beautiful C&K Body Shop K&T recovery car going to be leading them to green here. And check out that single cab dually leapfrog landscaping truck.
Yeah, you don't see many of those, that's for sure, Cale. A little heavier duty than a regular dually, I'd say. Got the 22.5, looks like a tractor trailer set up on it there. Looks like we're almost joined by Carol Yarborough there as our drone footage scans by in the Hardee's machine.
Now, race fans, I was just checking with the track just to make sure as to what we were going to tell you was going to happen. We're going to run 50 laps for the Renegades, which is quite a bit longer than we usually do because they're racing for $1,000 tonight, which is the biggest purse we've ever had here for the Renegades. Now, having said that, around lap 25, we're going to stop them and have the leader at that point of the race to draw a 5, 6, 7, or 8. Also, if you have a gray Ford Explorer Sport ST with tag number TMS 3482, I'm sorry, 3421 with North Carolina plates. Again, that's a Ford Explorer Sport TMS 3421. You've got somebody blocked in out here. It's got a North Carolina State Highway Patrol tag frame on it. If we could please get you to go out into the parking lot and just move your vehicle. Like I say, you've got another race fan blocked in. Again, if you have Ford Explorer Sport ST TMS 3421, please go out to the parking lot and move your vehicle. You've got another race fan blocked in.
Kel, before we get going here, tell the fans a little bit about these Renegades. How many laps do they normally running here at Hickory?
Typically 25 occasionally is what we're normally running in the Renegade division. Again, these cars run on a, similar to what you'd run on your regular road car, it is a radial Hoosier Racing rubber. So got a little bit more, got a little more contact patch than a typical road tire, but does offer some of the same shortcomings, obviously with heat and tire wear. And these guys right here, they're all pretty close in qualifying time. The top 4 cars qualify within a tenth or so of one another, and the rest of these cars were within 2 tenths. So, and again, these guys can get pretty dicey out here, and this Renegade race right here is brought to you in part by the great folks at Leapfrog Landscaping, Smart Electric Company, and Dixie's Fish and Chicken have all come to the table here to provide this great Renegade race here tonight.
Kel, did they get to change? They put 4 new tires on every week after they run those 25 laps?
No, sir, they do not. They have to run these things, and I'd have to ask the tire barn manager. I believe it's the majority of the season. They only get to purchase, I think it's 2 sets. Might be a third set, but they have to run these on multiple weeks. Obviously, in the interest of integrity, you have to take the tires off and let the track house them.
So, from what I'm understanding, as a fan here, these guys are going to put 2 races worth of laps on these tires that are probably not new as we talk right now.
As we continue to just get things warmed up here for the Calico Coatings Fall Brawl. Interesting thing, had a couple guys on Facebook post the very first Fall Brawl winner back in the 1980s. Maybe a name that a lot of you may know. He's been a championship winning crew chief in the Cup Series on a couple occasions. Rodney Childers actually won the very first Calico Coatings Fall Brawl.
If my memory serves me right, I think not too long ago, Rodney Childers came with a late model car that was piloted by Josh Berry at the
That is
Fall
correct.
Brawl.
Josh Berry raced here a few years ago.
I'll have a few opportunities for some interesting conversations with Bryson's going to be our pit reporter tonight. A little different look than normal. Have some interesting correspondence and interviews with him as the night goes on. Bring a little something extra to the race fans tonight.
Yeah, can't wait for some of that Saturday night mayhem to ensue. And we could see it earlier than later. Again, these Renegade guys, they don't mind leaning on each other. We've seen these guys rough each other up and come to blows more than once here at Hickory Motor Speedway. So with a little bit of extra pocket change on the line, could be pretty interesting here tonight. Again,
well, you also winding down your race season where, what do you really got to lose? You got all winter to put your car back together again, so might as well put it on full send and see what you can do tonight. Don't look now, Kel, but the lights are extinguished on our pace car. It looks like we're getting ready to go racing.
Yep, Charlie Neal and Steve Smart will be leading them down the green here for a handful of laps. Look at that. Apsa is beautiful right there as you see the great sunset over there off the other side of the mountains. You see the track action heating up. Charlie Neal getting on the loud pedal. Green flag is out. Atop the Gardner Group flag stands. They go down in the turns 1 and 2, Matt.
Charlie Neal's going to have the early advantage as he had the preferred line through 1 and 2. But Steve Smart's really not going anywhere. It looks like he might be giving up one more spot and might have to settle in about 3rd place to get in line and start working his way back towards the front.
Yeah, it looks like it could be the way that it turns out, at least for the moment, as Steve Smart's able to pull right down in front of Matthew Chambers. who had a great qualifying effort, qualifying in the top 5. Justin Austin having a whole lot of trouble here on the front straightaway as the gaggle of race cars comes through turns 3 and 4.
Still got Charlie Neal out front, and Gary Ledbetter not letting him get away from him. Just tip to tail as 1, 2, and 3 go around this racetrack, Cale.
Jackson Sparks trying to run around the number 54 of Gary Willard at the back of the field. And you see Justin Austin still struggling, now going a lap down here in the early goings of the Renegade portion of our event here tonight.
That's a shame. You know, Justin didn't have a great qualifying effort. Looked like he might have had some issues during qualifying, but was trying to get that straightened out and have a competitive machine here tonight. But looks like things went south for Justin early on in this race.
Charlie Neal down the back straightaway now, rolling into turns 3 and 4. I think he's starting to get a little bit of extra pressure from that number 28 machine of Gary Ledbetter, the Lexington, North Carolina native.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3 are tip to tail as they work around this racetrack. You know, I think Steve Smart's happy to be where he's at right now. Maybe there's 2 guys in front of him will jostle around for position. He might be sitting in the catbird seat as this thing works its way on.
Yeah, long race here again, 50 laps, and it doesn't sound like a lot when you're talking about the late models getting ready to go to battle for 200 laps here momentarily as you see the 71 of Kyle Devanna make it, trying to keep Jackson Sparks behind him. Sparks on the inside trying to make a move into turns 3 and 4, and he's going to get that position, and that's going to move him up into the P5 spot, trying to make that drive from the back.
Back up front, Cale, Ledbetter had a little bit of a look there working his way into turn 3 last time by. Still closes in ever so closely on Charlie Neal, but unable to get a nose underneath him quite yet. Steve Smart trying to close back in on P2 as they work their way through 1 and 2. These guys are starting to get a little impatient.
Charlie Neal still trying to fend off the hard-charging Gary Ledbetter. Ledbetter starting to get up closer to him. As Ledbetter now about 2 car lengths behind Steve Smart. He's not letting Ledbetter get away from him, though. I believe you might be right, Matt. All it's going to take is for these first 2 to get in a little bit of a tussle, and Steve Smart's going to be right there.
Yeah, these guys are going to have to show a lot of patience. You know, race twice as long as what they're used to running, and, you know, it's going to be a little different for these guys tonight. Looks like Ledbetter may be a little bit better than everybody else through 3 and 4, or at least into 3. And Steve Smart looks like he's got a really good race car in 1 and 2. So, you know, Charlie Neal's kind of making his way, just pacing the field right now, biding his time.
And I know it's hard for you to hear home, but you can hear the screeching of those radial tires. And here comes Ledbetter mounting a charge into turns 3 and 4. All 3 of these cars you could throw under a blanket. Ledbetter gets a little bit loose on the exit of turn 4 there.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what Charlie Neal's got, see if he can push him a little bit, maybe make a mistake and take over that first spot. But still got a lot of laps left to run here, Cale. Patience is a virtue.
And again, at lap 25, we're going to stop him and let him pull an invert card. It's going to be a 5, 6, 7, or 8. So, I mean, if you're running this great early, do you really want to take the chance of burning your tires up? And are you going to be able to drive back through the field?
Well, like I said earlier, you know, this race is twice as long as what a weekly regular race for these guys are. So, you know, they don't have a tremendous amount of data on what this tire is going to do with 50 laps on it. They know what it's going to do with about 20 to 25 laps on it, but, you know, 2 races worth of wear and tear on that tire. We'll have to wait and see how that Hoosier tire holds up tonight. Ledbetter all kinds of loose coming out of 4 there. Still unable to really draw alongside of Charlie Neal. The top 3 are nose to tail, less than a car length in between them.
As we continue to drive down in here, and look at the way that he gets into that corner, Matt. Ledbetter's just really able to suck up on Neal as they go into turn 3, but just not able to make something happen. Now, lap traffic, if we get to that point, is going to become an issue. And see another battle back here a little bit further in the pack. The 54 of Gary Willard trying to fend off the
like a 26 machine
car. The 26 being driven by Jarrett Anderson from Granite Falls. And these guys are kind of mixing it up back there at the back. They're a few car lengths behind Ben Campbell. And this is going to be where the leaders are going to end up here in just a handful of laps as they're battling back there. That's going to make lap traffic even more ominous as far as them trying to get past it.
Yeah, Kel, I'm kind of anxious to see when these, if the leaders catch the back of the field here, if that gives Smart and Ledbetter a chance to work, work Charlie Neal a little bit. We don't really know how well Charlie's car will work anywhere besides on the bottom groove of the racetrack, and he may have to find a different groove to get around some of these guys.
Yeah, because these guys are hugging the bottom too. Ben Campbell now starting to get some pressure from the 54 of Gary Willard as Willard looks down low. Great battle back in the pack here. Willard goes on the bottom side. Ben rolls up the top here as he tries to keep him pinched down. And here comes Charlie Neal into the thick of it. He gets sideways. Willard sideways right in front of the leaders. Caution on the racing surface. Gary Willard as he gets into the quarter panel of Ben Campbell and loses it right in front of Charlie Neal, the leader. And we have our first Carolina Cat caution at the Brawl.
Well, Kel, we knew at some point in time the Rowdy Renegades were going to get rowdy. Didn't necessarily know it was right then. Gary Willard was trying to make a pass. Looks like he's got a flat tire riding around on the rim. Right rear is gone.
Looks like we've got the 67 of Ben Campbell coming down trackside as well. Gatekeeper, can you see anything on either one of these street stock cars? Or Renegades, excuse me.
Yeah, Kel, both of these cars making their way down the pit lane with pretty significant damage. The Ben Campbell machine was probably the most damaged out of both of those. A lot of damage to the left side of that car. So probably going to be a while before they make it out onto the racetrack if they are able to return in this race. We will just have to see exactly what happens. We'll go over there and get an update and come back with you.
All right, we appreciate you so much, Gatekeeper. Gatekeeper Bryson Davis, we'll get a good Flow Sports instant replay right here. As you see right there, just, heavy contact right there, and it looks like that may have been the part where the right rear tire blew out on the 54, Matt.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe they got together just a little bit and a sheet metal rub, cut that tire down, or, if it was a tire failure, it caused the whole accident. Kind of hard to tell from our camera angle, but nonetheless, there was contact there coming through 3 and 4, and put us under our first caution of the night, Cale.
Check out that great drone shot coming down the back straightaway right there. Gives you a good, better indication. We talk about it a lot here about how egg-shaped Hickory is, and the back straightaway is anything but straight, as it you're always in a constant state of turning to the left just a little bit there. Great drone coverage brought to you tonight here at the Calico Coatings Fall Brawl.
Well, we'll get the field reset here. Not going to be a tremendous amount different than the way we started this thing. Charlie Neal's still going to lead them back to green when we get to it. Gary Ledbetter get a chance to line up beside of him, see if he can do anything with him on the outside, I would say. And we'll also get to see what Steve Smart can do on the bottom on the restart, Cale. Be interested when we get back to it here.
Yeah, because that may actually change things up, especially if he's able to get back to that pedal just as quick as the number 2, maybe get into the side of him a little bit or jack him up just a little bit, maybe change the at least halfway point outcome of this race. As the wheel and safety lights are extinguished, looks like Ben Campbell going to be able to get back out and rejoin the field here. As he's trying to make it back out. Again, caution laps not counting in the Renegade portion of the race.
Looks like the lights are out atop of our pace car. We're getting ready to go back to racing. Campbell back out just in time. Going to catch the end of the field before we go back green.
Charlie Neal, Gary Ledbetter, your front row here. It's live at Hickory. Green flag is back out.
Great restart for Charlie Neal. Looks like Steve Smart's going to work his way under Ledbetter and see if he can hold it there. Ledbetter with a great run off of turn 2 back towards 3 and 4. Going to be able to tuck back in right behind the number 2 of Charlie Neal.
Through turns 3 and 4, looks like he's going to be able to get back down on the bottom side, as you said there, Matt. And he's going to try to make another early charge here along the bottom side. Probably the person that enjoyed this caution the most is going to be Jackson Sparks, who started back again in 5th place. after our most recent Carolina Cat caution, and he's going to be looking to move his way forward as well to try to get back up front.
Yeah, Jackson holding his own right now. Maybe waiting for the halfway point and invert and see where he's going to shake out in the second half of this race. Ledbetter still looks like he is not going to wait around for the second half of this race. He's looking to go to the front now, Cale.
Yeah, it's one of the things. He may not be wasting any time. Going to go ahead and strike while the iron's hot, but Ledbetter loses the front end of that Monte Carlo just a little bit. Has to chase it up the hill off of turn 2, but man, he's really got this eastern end of the Speedway figured out through 3 and 4, though.
Yeah, he gets into 3 better than anybody else in the field. Don't know that he comes off of 4 any better than anybody else, so maybe setting up for a late heroics, if you will. Maybe a dive bomb at the end of this race to get up underneath of whoever's in front of him.
Coming through turns 1 and 2, Steve Smart, man, he tried to hug the bottom of the racetrack and had to chase it up there. At the exit of turn number 2, lost just a little bit of time, a little bit of space there. And turns 1 and 2 have been probably the most treacherous part so far this afternoon. We did have one car lose it in qualifying, and there's going to be our Carolina Cat halfway, as we're going to slow them all down here.
Y'all noticed the second half of that first run there. Matthew Chambers stayed up in earshot of the top 3, and depending on how this invert works out, that might be a car to watch in the second half of this race. Don't look like he's going to be no pushover for sure.
No, not at all, Matt. And that it's going to be pretty interesting. Gatekeeper, have you figured out how we're going to do our invert this afternoon? Well, it looks like Bryson may be actually getting ready for that. I believe he is going to be the one to draw the invert for this Renegade race. We're going to bring them down pit side, let them cut them off, make adjustments for a moment. And we're going to draw the invert. We're going to go to a quick commercial break here and get our housekeeping things in order, and be right back with more racing on Flow Sports. Bilstein, Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet. And we're back live right here at Hickory Motor Speedway for the Calico Coatings Fall Brawl, where we're in the midst of a great battle here in the Rowdy Renegade division here at Hickory Motor Speedway. We are going to have a 5-car invert, so it's going to help some, not going to help some others. If you were running in back there in 7th or 8th, you'd like to have seen them pull a bigger number. But if you're the number 2 of Charlie Neal, that's the best case scenario.
Yeah, Cale, he's got some work to do here in the second half of this race, but so far it looks like, that car's stayed under him real well in the first half, and I think he's set up pretty well to be able to pass 5 cars and maybe finish this thing off. We'll just have to wait and see.
We're going to go down pit side with Bryson Davis. Bryson, what are you seeing? What kind of adjustments are these guys making down there?
Yeah, Kel, lots and lots of tire pressure adjustments all up and down the pit lane. All of these cars, most of them at least, taking more fuel for their Renegade race cars, but it's been tire pressure adjustments for a lot of these guys. It would take forever to name all of them, nearly the entire field, making some minor adjustments to the race cars for the next 25 laps.
Bryson Davis getting the scoop force down there in pit lane, and great drone shots, guys, up there in the booth. That, as you can see them getting lined up back down there. It looks like they've got most of the trunk shut on these Renegades. And we'll get ready to go back green flag racing with the limited late model portion of our show coming here momentarily. You can see the limited late model cars already lined up down pit side.
You know, Kel, when we get back to green flag racing here, Charlie Neal hadn't had to pass car all night.
No, he hasn't, man. He started on the pole. Great race car, and it's going to be interesting. We talk about dirty air, obviously, at the national level. You're not going to really have so much of that here, but when you can't run your line and you're forced to make, passes that you may not otherwise have to deal with running out front, it's going to change the dynamic of this.
Yeah, and if, he's going to have to, if he liked the view that he had during the first half of that race, he's going to have to figure out a way to pass at least 5 cars. And, looks like he tried to keep his stuff under him and didn't abuse it, and, definitely got a good shot at being able to do it. But if you make a mistake, Ledbetter and Smart are going to be right there to pounce on him, no doubt about it.
That's right, and they're going to start in front of him, so he's going to have to run around them.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy thing to do. These guys getting ready to put on a heck of a show, I feel.
Yeah, hadn't been any hard feelings or any issues thus far. Obviously Ben Campbell, he's able to get back in the race as he's shotgun on the field. It does look like the number 54, however, did have to retire. And looks like we've got some stuff being shot into the crowd out here. A couple T-shirts and things of the like down here.
You mean to tell me we've got a T-shirt cannon here?
Well, the track itself does not have a T-shirt cannon, but these fine folks down here do, and I know that they'll be giving away some good stuff. I don't know if it'll be a Snuggie that you talked about earlier. It's getting a little chilly out there, but sure it'll be something great for the race fans as they kind of come through the field here. Race fans, put your hands up. Let them know you're there. Maybe have your chance at a free T-shirt.
They might have to turn that thing down a little bit, Kel. That last T-shirt, I think, was out of here. It was a home run.
Yeah, I think that thing almost ended up over here in Conover.
There we go.
T-shirt cannon may be one of the coolest inventions for the modern day experience at any kind of sports venue ever. I would love to have one, not even just to bring to the sports venue, just to use.
Well, I had a potato gun when I was growing up many moons ago. I guess that was a precursor to the T-shirt cannon. But
probably a little bit safer, the T-shirt cannon, I'd say.
Yeah, probably so. The projectiles aren't near as firm.
As you can see, a race fan there getting his very own T-shirt there. So we thank again, all of our corporate sponsors and people with giveaways out here making the race fan experience what it is here at Hickory Motor Speedway.
From what I can tell, Kel, if you want to be popular at Speedway, go buy yourself a T-shirt cannon and some T-shirts.
That's right. As we get ready to line the field back up, and again, we're inverting the top 5. So we're at lap 25. We'll rack them up and do it again for another 25 laps. And again, all these guys racing for what we understand to be the biggest purse in this particular division ever here at the Hickory Motor Speedway. They're racing for $1,000 here at America's most famous short track, and I'd be all right with an extra grand. I'd even rough up our own mama to be able to win $1,000.
Well, the only bad part about your theory, Kel, is, you know, there's a rougher and a roughie. Which one you going to be, right?
Well, make no mistake, I'm sure Sheila would put both of us in the wall to win $1,000 too.
No doubt about it, Kel. I think I've seen that firsthand.
Well, as NASCAR Race Control continues to get things situated here. So that's going to bring Jackson Sparks to the head of the field, followed by the 81 of Matthew Chambers. Steve Smart's going to be lining up in P3. And Gary Ledbetter and the number 2 C&K Body Shop K&T Recovery Chevrolet of Charging Charlie Neal will be in P5. And that is going to make it to where Kyle Devanna, Jarrett Anderson, and Ben Campbell will line up at the back of this field.
Yeah, Kel, this is going to be interesting. I noticed before the break that Matthew Chambers looked like he's getting around the racetrack pretty well. He's going to be able to start on the outside of row 1 here.
And he's one of the ones I would say most improved in the second half of the season. He's they found a few things, been able to figure out how to wrench on that race car and get it better. And I look forward to him hopefully maybe be able to contend for the win here. I mean, starting up front, going to be on the outside of row number 1. What better place to be in? And just as a quick apology to our folks at home on FloRacing, as you can see, we've got our Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series ticker back working. We've had some issues with our equipment here at the Speedway today with our transponders and getting that system working, but we do have that issue for the moment resolved, and we appreciate your patience. I know even we were kind of having to do a little bit of math with our hands and toes to figure out what lap we were on there. But as you can see, we'll get them cut back loose here with 25 more green flag racing laps coming right at you.
Shout out to our IT support for getting everything back online there, and we're ready to go back racing here.
Great shots for you there, race fans, as getting ready to cut them back loose here. The time here's 5:27 local time here. Nightfall starts to come over Hickory Motor Speedway. The Musco lighting is illuminated. As we continue our fall brawl festivities here, as the time changed, just last week I was thinking earlier in the week when we were coming to our event here, 4 o'clock, great start time, going to be a little bit warm, but it's the action's going to be hot. Track might be a little bit colder here in just a little bit, though.
Getting ready to find out if Jackson Sparks can take advantage of this invert. He's going to start on the pole for us, Kel. The lights are out, and we're getting ready to go back green flag racing.
Jackson Sparks, Matthew Chambers, the front row. Green flag is out once again, and not a great start by Chambers. I believe he might have been asleep at the wheel there for just a moment. Oh, he gets into the number 2, and he rolls up the racetrack, and that's going to allow the 2 and the 28 to get around Chambers, as he is having all kinds of trouble on that start.
Bad for Chambers, but really good for Jackson Sparks. He's got about a 4 or 5 car length lead here as we went back to green flag racing, Kel.
Yeah, I've got to wonder if that young man was able to save a little bit of Hoosier Racing tire at the way, maybe trying to play that invert a little bit with this being a 2-part race and get a little bit of action back further behind him. The 2 starting to get a little bit of the business from the 28 as the 16 riding the high life.
Yep, the 28 car Ledbetter, he's still best car into the corners, just doesn't quite get off of it as good as Charlie Neal does, but before this race is over, he's going to get a nose stuck under him. I just don't know what he's going to do when he gets there.
Yeah, and Charlie Neal, we know him as one of those drivers. He is willing to do whatever it takes to try to win.
Looks like as he got shuffled back there, I don't know if it due to the air pressure adjustments they made during the break that Bryson was telling us about or not, but Neal's car looks a little loose to start this run, and don't look now, but Ledbetter's underneath him. Can he make the pass?
Ledbetter at the quarter panel as Neal tries to power around him on the outside, and Ledbetter still with the nose stuck in there, but not going to be able to just keep it hugged on the bottom, and here he comes making another charge down the backstretch.
Once again, into 3, best car on the racetrack getting into the corners. He is there side by side as they come off of turn 4.
Back down into the western end of the speedway into turns 1 and 2. as the 2 machine trying to keep it wound up on the high side. He's having to wiggle it around. He gets out of the gas, almost ends up in the fence, Matt.
Yep, Ledbetter finally makes the pass. He's back to 3rd place. Steve Smart trying to find his way back up to Jackson Sparks. But Jackson might have been playing possum in that first half of the race, Cale.
Yeah, I believe that might have been the case, man. That's definitely not something that that you know, you hate to see it sometimes, but you know, at the same time, it's smart racing too. You don't want to wear your stuff out when you know there's going to be an invert, and you're going to be at least involved in it somewhere if you're in the top 5.
Well, there's still a lot of racing left, Cale. I wouldn't count any of these guys behind Jackson out for this race win at this point for sure. Steve Smart not losing any ground, but I'm not sure if he's really been able to pick any up as we went back green flag racing. Ledbetter finally able to get around Charlie Neal, looking to work his way up towards P2, but not really making a big dent in Steve Smart's position right now.
We've got some updates from pit road. Bryson, what have you got for us down there?
Well, Kel, we talked a lot about tire pressure adjustments looking at the number 2 car. It didn't seem that he had hardly any air in the left front tire of that car. Now, I'm no specialist when it comes to race cars, but that could have had some kind of effect, whether it be tightening or loosening up that race car. So looking at the effects of that adjustment, it could be something that we're seeing. As for a driver like the number 7, well, his crew's pretty happy down here. They are pulling away.
Yeah, that's right, Bryson. I'm sure the crew members of the number 7 of Jackson Sparks are elated right now. They've got about a 5 or 6 car length advantage, and Steve Smart really not been able to close back in on him any. And Ledbetter starting to close in a little bit on P2. Going to be a factor for the end of the race for sure. But right now, Jackson Sparks is in command of this Renegade race.
Yeah, Jackson Sparks, I'd say he's always a tough customer whenever him and his dad sometimes will race with him as well. And they always bring some really fast hardware here when they come to the track. As you can see, Gary Ledbetter trying to really put the pressure on the 16 of Steve Smart. He's looking to the inside, maybe making a move here down the front stretch.
Yeah, he's going to get underneath him there through 1 and 2 to see if he can complete the pass coming off 2, or Steve Smart keep that thing wound up on the outside. Not going to do it. Ledbetter's going to take P2. Don't look now, Cale, but Jackson Sparks caught the back of the field, and he's going to have some lap traffic to deal with. See if that helps out Ledbetter to be able to close in on the first place position.
Looks like it's just 10 more green flag laps to go. Ben Campbell, he's going to go down to the bottom and heat way to the 7, but the 7 still kind of getting caught where he doesn't really want to be, as Ledbetter trying to make another run for it here.
Speaking of sparks, got some sparks coming out from underneath these cars now that the sun is starting to set. You can see it real good as they work through the bumps, through the corners. Ledbetter closing in on the lap traffic now, trying to dispose of them so he can set his sights on Jackson Sparks. See if there's any late race heroics in sight for us. Ledbetter getting through 3 and 4 pretty good here, Cale. He might have enough time to get to the bumper. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, looks like lap traffic. Oh, we've got 1 to 2.
Neal.
Charlie Neal laps it around over here in turn 4.
That changes everything, Cale.
Yep, that's going to go ahead. Business, as JR would say, business is about ready to pick up. We're looking right here to slobber knocker.
Yeah. Got our flow replay here. Looks like Charlie Neal got into the corner, and that thing just came around on him. Got way loose as he worked his way through 3 and 4. Back in, came around, didn't hit anything. He's going to be able to get it straightened up and continue in the race, but might take him out of contention for a win here, Cale.
Yeah, that's definitely going to make the bar awful high to try to go, and he's going to go ahead and bring it down pit road. Bryson, can you see anything on the C&K Body Shop card?
Yeah, Kelly's working his way down the pit lane. Now he's right around the start-finish line. No real obvious damage to the car. We'll have to go check with the crew and see exactly what's going on with that car. If there is any damage from that spin, we'll come back with you if we find anything out. But Charlie Neal, certainly a heartbreaking situation for him.
Yeah, definitely not the way he wanted to be. Looks like he just kind of did a pass-through, I guess maybe to let him look at it. And, yeah, look at these guys. These guys are having a good time at the Fall Brawl.
Absolutely. Looky there. Kind of like tailgating, but different, Cale.
Hood gating.
Yeah, I guess that's what you would call it. That's right. Sure do like this drone that they've got going on here, giving us some great shots of these race cars going around the racetrack. See all the character of this historic racetrack.
Yep, last paved in 1992. She's got a few bumps and bruises, but definitely still offers some great 2 and even occasionally 3-groove racing here on Saturday nights, March through October. Well, technically March through November now.
Yep. Well, it's a tale of 2 tapes, Cale. The way I see this, Jackson Sparks was hoping for no cautions. The worst thing that could possibly happen for him is a caution flag.
With 10 to go.
So he's upset. But there's a fellow behind him that is really, really excited about the caution flag.
Yeah, and that's Gary Ledbetter. Gary, a multi-time winner here at Hickory Motor Speedway in his own right. Did not run for points in any of the divisions this season, but comes into tonight's racing action, has won a few times this season already at Hickory Motor Speedway, and has had a really fast race car. I mean, we knew that, somebody's painted up like Kelly Yarborough. They got to be fast, right?
Yeah, and, you know, luckily for him, he's not in the Allison Legacy Series race, or there'll probably be some fisticuffs. But, yeah, Gary Ledbetter's done a well of a job. It's going to tighten this field up, and I think we're going to end up with a real exciting end of this race. Steve Smart still hanging there in 3rd place. Chance for his tires to cool off a little bit. Could still be a factor here. And, you know, Matthew Chambers didn't have a very good restart, but he's sitting there in 4th place with a second chance, so to speak, Cale, and still got a pretty good race car there. So anxious to see if he can do anything to move forward here with a second shot at it.
Yeah, and that's something that, you know, these cars right here are sold, and looks like the 28 of Ledbetter. Oh, man, I guess they're going to give him check him out. Man, what heartbreak would this be if he's got some kind of problem?
I could not imagine, as good as that thing's getting around the racetrack, getting a shot there from the drone, the official underneath the back of that car, maybe looking for a leak or something. Looked like he gave him the thumbs up, and Ledbetter's pulling off to rejoin the field.
Man, that would have been just, I mean, we see it happen. You know, you get in late into these races, especially in a race that you're not used to running this long. You know, maybe get a little bit, you know, get a rear end that starts getting hot, start trying to relieve a little bit of pressure, possibly get a little bit of water.
Well, if I'm running in 2nd place, I am pleading with the official. Please, Mr. Official, we've only got 9 laps left, and I think it'll make it.
Yep.
One of my favorite race car drivers was Willie Make It.
Well, race fans, they have drawn for the first $100 ticket down here at the S&S Roofing Tent. If you have ticket number 255014, everybody get your S&S Roofing tickets out, 255014. That's the first of 3 tickets. Still 2 more giveaways here momentarily at the S&S Roofing tent here on the main paddock.
Have to wonder if maybe there was some gamemanship, and one of these guys in 3rd through the end of the field was complaining about some fluid on the track, maybe, Cale.
Could be.
Maybe they thought the 28 car was putting out a little bit of fluid, and maybe the officials needed to take a look at that, but they said he is okay and put him back out there where he started. Everybody take a deep breath, because here we go. The lights are extinguished on the Paramount Kia Auto Group pace car. We are going back to green flag racing with, it looks to be about 9 laps left, Cale.
Jackson Sparks, Gary Ledbetter, your front row here. Green flag is out again at Hickory.
Got a good restart for Ledbetter. To see if it's going to stand, as he's going to stay side by side as they work their way through 1 and 2, Cale.
Nope. Yeah, looks like they must have thought he got back to cracked the loud pedal a little bit sooner than the 7 of Jackson Sparks. Jackson Sparks, again, as the leader, will be the control car. So they're going to rack him up and do it again. I'm sure they're going to give him the shame stick here. Tell him they got one more try at that.
Can't really be too mad at Mr. Ledbetter there. That was a really good job on the restart. Maybe just a fuzz early, but he had a good restart, trying to do what he needs to do to have opportunity to win this race.
It's like I try to anticipate the tree in drag racing. You just want to be as close to that light as you can be, and in this case, you got to be anticipating what the leader of the race is doing in order to try to, you know, make that little bit of an advantage they have as the control car, just, you know, minimize that a little bit.
That's right. It's, you know, kind of a no harm, no foul situation here. They'll stack them back up, and we'll try it again. And, you know, hopefully we'll get a green mean go start next time around. once again, for the fans in attendance and those watching by home, these pace laps do not count towards the race. It's not like your Sunday races with where they count off as we go round and round. Only our green flag laps will count, and so we'll still have 9 to go whenever we get back to green flag racing.
Now that will change, I do believe, race fans, where those laps will count in the later divisions, but just this one here in particularly is one of the only ones that we will not count, and it'll be typical short track Saturday night rules. Wheel and safety lights are extinguished atop the Paramount Kia Soul pace car.
Quickly reset your top 3 or 4 will be Jackson Sparks, Ledbetter, Steve Smart, and Matthew Chambers. Pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn back down on the pit road. Side by side, see if we get a clean start this time, Cale.
And it looks like a much better start, at least for Sparks right there, as he's able to lunge out about a half a car length to a car.
Ledbetter going to try to keep alongside him through 1 and 2. Not quite able to do it. Going to fall in line. I bet he's going to put it on full send going into 3, though, Cale.
Yep, this might be the time as the elbows will get ready to be thrown. He looks down to the bottom side, tries to get the nose of that Monte Carlo in there. Just cannot draw up behind him just yet. As Sparks, he is driving with everything on the line, trying to get into turns 1 and 2 and get out clean.
Good racing there behind them through 3, 4, 5. Looks like Charlie Neal's making his way back up towards the front, Cale.
Yep, he is really racing with the calls right now as he is on the outside of Steve Smart.
Oh!
Gets into the door.
Still loose, Charlie Neal is. Not loose enough to turn that thing around again, but him and Steve Smart not done beating and banging as they go through 1 and 2.
As you said, fisticuffs could be coming out as these guys right here. And there's a battle for the lead again. As the 28 tries to get past the 7, there is great racing action everywhere on the field. Here comes Neal again, trying to make work of the 16 down in the turn 1.
Up front, mid-pack action everywhere. Ledbetter looking to get to that rear bumper just one time. Cale can't quite do it this time by. Gonna be 5 to go.
Just 5 more circuits around this famous .363 mile paved oval nestled right here in the foothills of North Carolina. For Jackson Sparks from Georgia, trying to get himself another win here at Hickory Motor Speedway.
Ledbetter runs it off deep again into turn 3. Still not able to get a nose up under Jackson Sparks. Real close again as they go through 1 and 2. About a car length lead for Sparks down the backstretch as they work back to turn 3.
Look at Gary Ledbetter. Man, he sends that thing in through on turn 3. Comes right up to the back bumper, but just cannot get it to turn enough to get underneath him.
Cale 3 more times by for him to make a move. You have to kind of wonder at this point, will he put the bumper to him if he gets close enough? Might try to rattle him just a little bit. Dives it off in there deep again. Still unable to get a nose under Jackson Sparks.
2 more times, double popsicle sticks, 2 cars racing for the win here at the first race of the night here at the Calico Coatings Fall Brawl.
Ledbetter close enough. He might be able to get some bumper to him this time. Dives into turn number 3, looking for the lead. Not able to do it this time by.
Coming to the IHOP, 1 to go. Gary Ledbetter's going to have 1 more chance to turns 1 and 2. Can't get it done there. 3 and 4 await him here momentarily. 1 and 2, not going to be able to do it. Sparks slams the door down the back straightaway now.
Into turn 3, one last chance. He dives it in as hard as he can. Cannot get to the bumper. Looks like Jackson Sparks are going to hold him off for the race win, Cale.
The Dixies, Fish Camp, Leapfrog Landscaping, Smart Electric, Renegade race right here. Great action tonight as Jackson Sparks comes away with the win, followed by Gary Ledbetter. Great rally back for Matthew Chambers, finishing in the top 3. Charlie Neal, Steve Smart, Kyle Devanna, Ben Campbell, Jarrett Anderson, Gary Willard, and Justin Austin, your 10-car field. We're going to go to a quick commercial break here on Flow Sports and get a word with the top 3 finishers.
Back at Hickory Motor Speedway on FloRacing, where Jackson Sparks is in Heritage Finance victory lane after winning that 50-lap Renegade feature in the Fall Brawl, and the trophy goes on top of the car. And a big win for the number 7. After the invert, Jackson stayed out front, was able to stay in the lead and end up winning the race. Here he is now out of the race car. Jackson Sparks is a Fall Brawl winner. And Jackson, we talked about that invert. You come down pit lane. Did you guys make any adjustments to the car, or did you like what you had from the beginning? And what did it require to be a Fall Brawl winner tonight?
Well, first of all, I want to thank my mom, my dad, Ronnie, Jay, Pawpaw, Nana, everybody that helps. It means a lot. We started off, it was really loose off, and it was tight in, so we come in and made an adjustment on that, and we just drove away. I'm happy we got that.
All right, Jackson, well, congratulations to you and all your crew on a big win here tonight.
Thank you.
Jackson Sparks brings it home P1 in the first feature of the Fall Brawl, and with that, we go back to the driver of the number 28. That's Gary Ledbetter. And Gary, you had a fast car all night, right up there until the very end. What more did you need in the closing laps?
We blowed our primary motor up yesterday. I got to thank Steve Smart. He let us borrow this motor, and we went home and put it in last night. And it's a good running motor, but it ain't like we had a little bit better motor. I think we'd have been a little bit better if we had our motor. But congratulations to Jackson. He did all he had to do there. I got to thank Scotty Brewer, Danny Brewer, all the fans. Like I said, I thought it was a pretty good race.
All right, it certainly was. Thanks, Gary, bringing it home. P2 in the Fall Brawl, and we go back to the third-place finishers. That is the driver of the number 81, Matthew Chambers. And, Matthew, you had a slower start to the race and was able to make something out of it and bring home a P3 finish. A solid run for you here tonight.
Yeah, thank you. And we've made a lot of gains with this car this year, and it just got better for me as the night went. I'd like to have another 10, 15 laps, see if I could get up there with them front cars and seen what I could have done. I'd like to say I want everybody to keep the Clark family in their prayers. John Clark, we miss him. He was one of the first people that we ever got to help us when we started out in Newport in 2016. Good friend. I hate he's gone. Just keep that family in your thoughts and prayers. They've been around here and other tracks around here a long time, Jesse and all of them. First, I got to thank Dad. Without him, wouldn't even be here with this car. He does most of the work to this thing, a lot of it on his own when I'm off with the youngin'. Clay, my son, Brandy, girlfriend, Charlie Neal and his whole crew, Dre Buff, his whole crew, Ashley Huffman, the Tire Whisperer. I mean, each and every one of them's helped us this year, and we've come a long way with this thing.
Thanks, Matthew.
Thank you.
More racing to come from America's most famous short track. The limited late models are up next from Hickory Motor Speedway.
All right.